down with the coaches to recap the latest games and preview what's ahead. It's time to talk about the orange and white on MTCS Cougar Corner, right here on WGNS and BigGTV. Stay tuned, the show is coming up right after this message from our sponsors.
Middle Tennessee Christian School, training for eternity.
The large majority of our kids are involved in athletics or extracurricular activities, one or the other, and most are doing multiple activities.
MTCS President Matt Tiller.
And that's a great preparation for life. How many of us in our life are just doing one thing? So a well-rounded student is a huge deal.
Invest in your child's future in a Christ-centered environment with many athletic and extracurricular choices.
Without a doubt, our students have the opportunity to be involved in multiple activities.
To find out more, visit mtcscougars.org.
Genesee Orthopedic Alliance takes great pride in treating local athletes here in Rutherford County. Here's Dr. Russell McKissick with TOA.
We have a passion here for taking care of our athletes here in Rutherford County. We really do our best to take care of them.
Experts in joint, bones, and muscles.
Many years we've been taking care of athletes around here, and we've just picked up where Dr. John started, and we just keep going.
TOA has a playbook that gets you back in the game. To request an appointment, visit TOA.com or call 855-NEED-TOA. TOA, live your best life.
Middle Tennessee Christian School, training for eternity.
People love to see us on the schedule when they have a home game because our fans show up.
MTCS President Matt Tiller.
The way we travel is just phenomenal. Our parents and our community are fully engaged in our school. When we compete, we're trying to do it in a way that honors God. We want to win. We also want to do it in a way that pleases Him.
Providing Christian values and academic excellence in a nurturing environment. That's Middle Tennessee Christian School. Invest in the future of your child. Find out more at mtcscougars.org.
We're back for MTCS Cougar Corner, presented by Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance and fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's on 1019, 100.5, 1450, WGNSSports.com, and BigGTV.
Danny Brewer back with you. Cougar Corner. Hey, what an exciting time. And right now, I'm sitting across the table from the road warrior himself, Middle Tennessee Christian School head football coach Christian Peterson. Coach Peterson, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good. So let's talk a little bit about, when did y'all get home? Because, you were at Johnson City last night. Is that right? Am I right about that?
Yeah. I got into my house at about 3:30 this morning.
3:30 this morning, and here on time and everything. Man, hats off to you, Coach. Man, you're an all-star and a great example for your team with the dedication that you show. And, just getting a little philosophical here, that's very important, is for you to be, because you're the image that your team needs to look to, right?
Absolutely. And I think it's important, if you say you're gonna do something, go do it. And I enjoy coming in. I enjoy being in person. I don't really want to do it on the phone. So anytime I'm in town, I'm definitely gonna be here and talking to you guys and getting a chance to talk about our players.
Well, because, today would have been the opportune moment to say, well, I can't. And oftentimes in society today, I think we're a society of excuse makers. I can't do it. We find reasons to say we can't instead of figuring out ways to do it. You agree with that?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's easier, right? And, in the world we live in, the easy option is generally the one people go with. But, I think we're trying to get it in our kids to understand that life's hard sometimes, right? Like there's going to be things are going to punch you in the face, and it's all about how you respond.
Well, one of my sayings that I use is, it ain't easy being good, and it's not. So let's talk a little bit about some good, and that was last night. Road win, and this was really a road game when you think about, because I guess y'all left on Thursday to go to Johnson City?
Yeah, so we left at 4 o'clock our time. We ended up getting in about 11 o'clock Eastern, getting to the hotel. You never know how they're going to respond to it. We have a lot of guys that weren't on the 23 team, where we did stay in a couple hotels. So for some of them, it was probably their first hotel stay ever. We were very blessed. We got to stay in a nice hotel. And so, I think for a lot of them, it's probably the nicest hotel they've ever stayed in. But you always wonder, like, how is it going to be? How are they going to react to being so off of their routine? They normally have school, and then, like, there's just a routine they go through every day. And, I thought our kids handled it well. I thought they understood that we were going down there to try and win a football game. And, it wasn't easy. There just about everything that could go wrong went wrong. But I told Piercy after the game, I said, we got a scrappy little group of kids, man. Like, they're just going to keep playing. And I'm proud of them. You go really 5.5 hours on the road. You're going into a situation where you don't know much about the team you're playing. You got some film on them, but it's their first year in the league. You don't have those years to fall back on of where, if you played somebody for 5, 6, 7 times, that, maybe they have this play, they like to try and sneak the tight end out, they have this, whatever, this double pass, whatever it is. Everyone's got that play they like to pull out in a big game. And when you play somebody over and over again, you start to know situations where they like to do it. So even if they haven't run it that year, they got it. So it's just there's a lot of unknowns, and I thought our kids handled that well.
Certain characteristics. Teams have certain characteristics. Your team has certain characteristics. And that's one of those things where, like you said, you had nothing to go off of. So got to be proud of your kids pulling out a win, not knowing who their opponent really is.
Yeah, and I think it's another one. It's our second week in a row that, at one point in the game we have it pretty well in hand. We're throwing the ball well. Had a great week of practice throwing it, and it translated to Friday. We throw for almost 150 in the first half. We come out in the second half, and we're just running it right down their throats. I mean, we're getting 9-10 yards a carry. And we had some fumbles there, and some opportunities that we squandered on ourselves. And it as the game started to kind of go their way, and they started getting all the bounces right, and that's how it is sometimes. You go on the road, and sometimes the home team just gets some bounces, and they did. And shout out to our defense. I mean, they came out and had a game sealing interception there at the end. They played hard all night. I mean, they forced Providence to completely abandon the run game. And again, I think our kids just found a way. And we talked about it after the game. Like, look, great teams win. Like, great teams just find a way. They just win. And, it's not always going to be pretty. You're not always going by a lot. It's not everything's going to be perfect. But the great teams figure out a way that when everything went wrong, you still won. And, I think we're getting there. I think we show a lot of flashes of being a really great team. And, obviously things we've got to fix. There's, had a new center in this week. Our starting center's down with an injury right now. Hopefully get him back before the end of the year. I don't know what the role will be, hopefully, but at center, but we'll just got to kind of wait and see. And I thought Madden played well. I thought he did a lot of really good things. But when it's a new center snapping to a running back, there's always the, how's it going to be in a game? And even if it's a good snap, it comes off his hand different than it came off Eli's hand. Like, it does. And so, I think some of it's that. It's just, as they continue to play together, it's going to be better. We're going to make some adjustments. We're going to make sure that, what happened last night doesn't happen again. We can't put the ball on the ground 6 times. We just can't. We can't do it.
So you 28-21, you win at Providence. 6 fumbles. Did you lose all 6 fumbles?
Lost 5 of them.
Wow, 5 fumbles, but still won 28-21. That is overcoming adversity. That is a sign of a good team. Let's take a second to talk about the Smyrna Ready Mix. Concrete solid performer of the night was Ali Ben-Gur. Did I say that name right? 18 carries, 209 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Is that right?
Yeah, Ali. Yeah. He played phenomenal. Shout out to the guys up front. In the second half, there were times he's running and not getting touched for 15 yards. They were really moving them. They came out and a different look than what we were expecting. There were times they were basically just engage 8, and they were just sending guys. And, shout out to those guys, just come to the sidelines, figuring it out, seeing what they're doing, and then making our adjustments, early. And they're bringing so many guys. They're bringing more we can block. And so they're getting in Marlowe's face a little bit. And, as that's especially the second quarter, he stood in there and made some big time throws and really hurt him for sending that many guys. And, to be able to throw it in that pressure is good. To be able to have those big runs when we needed them from Ali were big. Shy and Riley Brown both did a lot of really, really solid stuff that aren't going to show up on the stat sheet offensively. But overall, really proud of our guys. Brought Landry and Roy over, got into a big boy set, and they moved some people. They had to play a lot of snaps. They were starting D tackles, and they came over and played some O-line as well. And we were able to just lean on them a little bit. And I think again, there's a lot of positives in the game. There's some things we got to get better. We got to clean up. But the biggest takeaway I have from it is our guys are going to find a way. They're going to find a way to win it. They're going to find a way to get the result at the end. And at the end of the day, we're 3-0 in the region, and we've put ourselves in a good spot.
Absolutely. Finding a way. I mean, all this stuff is great, and you're absolutely right. And if I'm not a math genius, but Ali 209, 18 carries, 209. That's over 10 yards a carry.
Yeah,
that's awesome. I mean, that's just one of those things where you write home about that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. Like I said, the guys up front did a great job, and he's a really good running back. You give him a lane, he's going to make you pay. And it all just kind of builds off each other. We hit Shy on a big one, we hit Malachi on a couple big ones. We got a screen pass to Tripp. He made a heck of a run after catch on it. Really kind of all just kind of goes together, and as we keep building, as we keep developing both sides of it, where we can run it, we can throw it, we can really scare some people. Where you're gonna bring 8, we're just gonna throw it over your head. If you're gonna sit back, we're gonna run it on you. And so it was really good to see that start clicking on Friday.
Let's talk a little bit about Marlo Nichols, the quarterback, managing the game and what you expect. What class is he?
He's a sophomore.
Okay, that's what I thought. I thought he was a young kid. So talk about a sophomore and his ability and what he did last night as far as managing the game. Because, when you lay it on the ground 5 times, it's easy to get down. But you depend on guys like him to continue to manage the game and keep things headed in the right direction.
For sure. And, every game he gets a little bit better. And he's got a really bright future. As a quarterback, it would have been really easy. Our second drive of the game, I think he gets sacked twice. And, it would have been really easy to just get upset. No, there's bring guys everywhere. I can't get the ball off. And, he just made his adjustments. 1-step drop, got the ball out. 3-step drop, got the ball out. You start throwing the ball on time. He hits a post route where, he scrambles by some time and throws back across his body, 30 yards downfield and hits the receiver in stride. Those are big time plays, and those are things that as he continues to develop and continue to get better at, he's going to be another one that's just a really, really good football player for us. And, I'm excited. We got, Ali's a sophomore, Shai's a junior, Riley's a junior, Marlo's a sophomore. We start 2 freshmen up front. And, but they just keep getting better and better and better, and they keep finding a way. And, they're willing to take what the defense is giving us. There's some games where, they're going to try and take away the pass. We're going to be able to run the football. There's some games like last night, especially in the first half, where come hell or high water, they're not going to try and let us run it. All right, well, then let's throw the football a little bit. Let's move the ball down the field. And, I'm proud of our guys for being able to just take whatever the defense gives us. We have a lot of talented players. It'd be really easy to complain and wonder, well, why don't I get the ball on this one? Why does he get the ball here? And, our guys they just want to win, whatever it takes to win.
You mentioned the big boy set. I love that brand of football myself, because it's like, hey, here we come. We're going to run the ball, and you're going to have to stop us. So 2 points to this. Number 1, you've got the personnel to do a big boy set. And number 2, tell me how much you love the big boy set and just the power football.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun. When we bring in Roy and Landry, we're bringing in 200-300 plus pounders in there, and it's really it's kind of our mindset package, right? Like, we're going to go out and we're going to let them know that I don't care what you do, we're going to run the football right at you. You can't stop it. And I think our kids really embraced it. The kids are having fun with it. They got a lot of movement up front, and they created holes, and then credit to our backs for making big plays behind them.
I think that you're right. It's a mindset. That's a mindset scheme and everything. And when you can execute that, it can be demoralizing for the other team.
For sure. Yeah, it's just, it's about going out and saying, like, hey, we're running it right here. We know we're running it right here. You're not going to stop it. And, for a lot of that second half, they didn't. We just, again, if we don't shoot ourselves in the foot, I think it's a different game. But, it's one of those ones where we're 6 hours away from home. Everything went wrong. We found a way to win. Understand what we need to get better at, what we need to fix, and then let's go clean it up. That way it doesn't happen again. But again, just proud of how our kids kept fighting.
So we've talked a lot about offense. I want to touch on defense a little bit.
Absolutely.
Because, when you face giving the ball to the other team 5 times, as a defense, sometimes that can be a little demoralizing because you're always on the field. Because, man, we just give it right back to them. So tell me a little bit about your defense and how they responded and what kind of kids you got over there that you're really proud of.
Yeah, all of them. They forced 3 turnovers themselves. It was we had 2 picks and I want to say it was 2 fumble recoveries, so four turnovers. Eric Bowling interception, 2 forced fumbles. Landry Mason had a recovery. Jake Latimer had a recovery. Had a couple sacks, had 11 tackles for loss as a team. Had a couple more pass breakups that probably could have gone the other way. But again, they just kept fighting. And Providence Academy is a team we know they want to run the ball and then take shots. And we forced them into a short passing game situation. And so again, I think our kids executed the game plan perfectly. And then they just kept playing. They just kept finding a way to make the play they needed to make. Eric Bowling led the way with 11 tackles. He's kind of the engine that makes our defense go, as our Mike. Played really well. 2 forced fumbles, interception, 3 tackles for loss. He was all over the place last night.
Yes.
Cooper Jones, Malachi White, Riley Brown, Shu. Trey Ewell had an interception in the end zone. Again, just finding a way. And then Roy Landry up front, really kind of stifled their inside run game there. I thought our ends did a really good job on all their option stuff coming off the outside. And then we rallied to the football. We had 2, 3, 4 hats making tackles. It wasn't ever just one guy. And that's what it's got to be a good defense. If it's a bunch of one-on-one tackles, like, you're going to miss some every now and then. If you get a bunch of 3-on-1, 4-on-1 tackles, you're not going to miss many of those. And, I'm proud of how they kept responding. They answered the bell. And, again, some things to clean up there too, for sure. But, offensively, we put them in some bad spots. And, they kept answering the bell, and they kept showing up and going out and making plays. And really proud of them.
4 turnovers forced, 11 tackles for loss. Yes, you should be proud of them. So let's talk about what's coming up. At Clay County. Where is Clay County at?
Salina. Up near Kentucky.
Okay, so that's up near the border. So another road trip. And we talking real road trip. So tell me how you want to get ready for this week and build off of, because you got a W, and it's always and that's always good.
Yeah, and it's a short week. We're playing on a Thursday. So we'll be back in on Sunday and kind of have our Monday practice on Sunday, and then we'll go Sunday through Wednesday, and then we'll get on the bus and drive again. I think it's important now is, the last 3 games have been region games. It's important to understand that while it's not a region game, like, it's an opportunity to go and clean some things up and get better and keep momentum going. And, Clay County is a good football team. Last I saw, I think they were like top 5 in 1A. Like, they've won 5 straight games. They're another team that's a really scrappy team, plays really hard, and finds a way to win. And so I think it's going to be a good test for us to go out and play them and again, go clean up some of the things we got to clean up and try and go win another football game.
Coach, there's lots of good things happening over at Middle Tennessee Christian School, not only the football team, but I know like volleyball, I think they're in the region tournament this week. Is that right?
Yeah, so there's a 3-way tie for first. I think tiebreakers ended up putting them in third. But man, they're fun to watch. They're really good. Excited to watch them play. And as they get their postseason started, really looking forward to what they can do.
Because I think Anna Clay Shirley, basketball player too. I think she's a really good volleyball player.
Yeah, I mean there's a ton of them. AC, you've got Jada, Maddie, Addison. I mean you can go down the list. Our volleyball program they're deep, they're talented. They're, like I said, they're a lot of fun to watch. When I got here, I think I'd probably watched 2 volleyball games ever. I knew no rules, and I still don't know a lot of them, but I've definitely learned a lot. And they're fun to watch. They're talented, and definitely look forward to this postseason run for them.
So it would be fair to say you're digging volleyball now, right?
yeah, for sure, for sure.
All right, so I know you got cross country going on over there, the tennis. I mean, there's lots of exciting things happening with Middle Tennessee Christian Athletics. Fun place to be, right? And a great atmosphere. Lots of good things happening at Middle Tennessee Christian School.
Absolutely, and I think one of the things that I'm really excited about is how the athletics program's all kind of on the same page. We're all working in the same direction. Football, baseball, softball, volleyball, boys and girls basketball. Everybody's working to get better. Everyone's working to improve. And so it's a lot of fun right now when you get all of us together into a room and talk sports, right? Because there's the X's and O's side of it, but there's so much more to being a coach than just X's and O's. And to be able to just bounce different things off of them, like me and Chris Lawson, the basketball coach, like we'll just talk about, different things all the time, like different, really like coaching strategies, less X's and O's, but more like, hey, I noticed this with this kid, and or whatever. And to have that in our athletics department is huge. There's no fight over, oh, this is my guy, it's not your guy. Like, no, like, basketball's going to be out there. The basketball coaches are going to be out there watching the basketball kids play football. And, when it gets to basketball season, I'm going to be out there watching them play basketball. And the same thing when they go play baseball. And, and Addison's there when we're playing football, watching the baseball guys play football. It's one of those things where us all working together is just going to make all of us better. And, I think the athletics program as a whole just continues to improve. And, I'm really excited about the future.
That's the Middle Tennessee Christian School Athletic Community. Coach, you're a big part of it. We appreciate your time. Wish you the best of luck, and we're happy to have you on Cougar Corner always.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.